Hey YouTube, Untamed here. We are currently witnessing an unprecedented auto loan crisis within the United States right now. 1 out of 5 buyers are actually being denied their auto loans throughout the last 2 quarters here. And when you combine that with the fact that dealerships are seeing an unprecedented level of inventory growth throughout the last 2 years, it really is a recipe for disaster. In today's video, I'm going to dig into the details and peel back the layers of the onion and walk through it all. So please stick with me. So for starters, 1 out of 4 individuals within the US right now is upside down on their auto loan. 1 out of 4 has a negative equity. 40%, or 2 out of 5 individuals who have purchased an EV or electric vehicle within the last 2 years, they too are upside down on their loans right now. The national average negative equity is just over $7,200. It's really no shock that 1 out of 5 auto loans that were applied for throughout the last 2 quarters were denied, because when you look at the price tags of these new vehicles, it's quite jaw-dropping. The average new vehicle price was $48,405 throughout this last year. The average new truck sale price was $64,266 throughout 2024. In fact, with that said, this will come as no surprise to you, but half of the individuals who took out a loan for a new truck purchase are paying over $1,000 per month for that truck. The average monthly payment on a new vehicle purchase across the board, cars, trucks, SUVs, you name it, is $760 per month. The average monthly payment on a used vehicle purchase across the board is $525 per month. So when you hear those monthly payments, it should come as no surprise that we did see a 23% uptick in the number of vehicles that were repossessed throughout 2024 compared to 2023. And well, that growth rate, it keeps rising. Now, although I always hone in and focus on auto loans and insurance premiums, there's a lot more factors at play here. Of course, the biggest being just the cost of living at large. Due to inflation, for the most part, the cost of living has just gotten out of hand and really out of touch with reality for so many Americans, right? When you look at how much it costs to pay rent or pay your mortgage, and when you combine that with the cost of insurance premiums over doubling in the last 2.5 years, the cost of groceries going through the roof, everything has just been a compounding issue for people, and well, it's become suffocating, and that's abundantly clear when you look at these auto loan delinquencies. So consequently, we have individuals now choosing to keep their vehicles longer. They're choosing to perform that necessary maintenance, the necessary service to prolong the ownership of that existing vehicle. Rather than trading out a vehicle every 3 to 5 years, we're now seeing people teetering toward that 5 to 10 years. How long can they keep that vehicle on the road? In fact, I just did that recently. I just bought a 2013 Lexus GX 460 here. Pretty low miles on it, but well, the price tag compared to a new GX 550, well, it's pennies on the dollar by comparison. It may go without saying, but we are currently seeing the highest levels of 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day auto loan delinquencies, people not making payments, since the 08-09 recession. Let that sink in. And I don't normally get into this level of detail in my videos, but to put things in perspective, we are now seeing a 4.89% of all individuals with auto loans out within the United States being 90 days or more delinquent on their auto loan. That is up from 4.59% last quarter. And the previous quarter to that, 4.17%. So we continuously see this uptick in growth, and in the big scheme of things, those are huge figures to be considering. So although these are the highest numbers that we've seen since the 08-09 recession, I would wager by the end of 2025, we will have passed it. So we do have a lot of people doing what we did. We bought vehicles, and my New Year's resolution, as cliche or corny as it is to avoid auto loans this year. I mean, I love vehicles, I love buying the new cheese just like the next guy, but when you start looking at those monthly payments, combining it with those insurance premiums, it just becomes completely unbearable, right? And especially when you combine it with a terrible interest rate, which is the new norm right now, I don't think it's really worth considering. And I've said it once and I'll say it again, but the best type of vehicle is a paid off vehicle. And well, a paid off vehicle that runs, let's just assume it runs, right? And when it comes to the subprime credit recipients of loans, we are now seeing an all-time high. Well, at least within the last 30 years of it being formally tracked. These are individuals with a credit score of 620 or less, right? We're now seeing a 6.15% of all loans out there with subprime credit recipients, I should say, being 60 days late on their loan. So that is the highest that we have seen in the last 3 decades. So it really is a perfect storm of everything coming together. Dealerships are now having to turn away inventory. They're turning away these allocations and deliveries, which is ultimately having an adverse ripple effect on the assembly lines, right? We're ultimately needing to lay off some individuals who are assembling these vehicles because there is no longer a need for them. I mean, just go to any dealership lot and what are you going to see? You're going to see lines upon lines of unsold inventory. And really, we just kicked off March 2025, And what are you going to see? You're still going to see a ton of unsold 2024 units just sitting there collecting dust. I would argue that you're going to continue to see that until May, June, July timeframe. And that's my personal opinion, when it will be the best time to pounce to try to get that best deal possible from that dealer. Because whether or not they want to admit it, that is going to be crunch time. Crunch time for these dealerships to move this metal, to move that inventory. They need to get desperate, and they need to get creative to actually move that inventory. Well, if they don't, that's belly up for them. And you can't help but wonder if a lot of them are just sitting around hoping for a government bailout to happen. I don't think that's going to happen under the current administration. What do you think? Not only are they going to have to do huge discounts on their new vehicle inventory, they're going to have to incentivize those interest rates. We're talking 10, 15% below invoice, and giving that 1% or 0% interest rate over 60 months or 72 months. That's going to be the quote-unquote crash that we see this year. Dealerships that are trying to hold firm and just kind of wait this out, well, those are going to be the dealerships that are going to fail. Those are going to be the dealerships that go bankrupt. In my personal opinion, dealerships have one of two choices right now. They can either hold firm to their greedy tactics or cut their losses early. Take losses on their vehicles, move that metal, move that inventory. Even though there may be taking a loss on the vehicle itself, they have opportunities to bring in some revenue from that buyer, right? Through their service department. Service departments really are the cash cow of any dealership. Ask any dealership owner, they'll be quick to tell you that. So take a loss on the vehicle sale itself, but earn that individual as a lifelong customer, perhaps. Heaven forbid we do that, right? Earn that loyal customer again. That's what dealerships need to be focusing on, or they're going to go belly up. And let's face it, I do feel like it's important to note that a lot of people aren't going out and flocking in to buy these vehicles because you can't help but feel that quality has gone down substantially and those price tags keep getting hiked up in tremendous fashion. So quality down, price tags up, it doesn't add up for most buyers. So many vehicle manufacturers are now just pumping out these throwaway vehicles that will run just fine for 3 to 5 years, but buyers will likely want to trade that in at the end of the 5 years, because at that point, that's when people are going to start noticing some flaws. Some things are going to start falling apart much earlier than what previously was the case for many vehicles. Toyota is even falling victim to that, I would argue. So many of their vehicles nowadays are just covered with plastic in and out. That quality is just not there, and that reliability is certainly not there. Remember when they used to make the Toyota Land Cruiser to last 25 years with minimal maintenance and minimal headache? Well, those days are gone. Those days are long gone. Check out that new Land Cruiser. That ain't it. And just for context, we are now seeing 3.1 million brand new vehicles available within the US as of February 2025. That is up 500,000 comparatively to this time last year, and up 1.5 million comparatively to this time in 2023. When it comes to used vehicles, we're now seeing 2.3 million used examples available within the US right now. That growth rate is unprecedented. And while the two segments that mean the most to me would be the full-size SUV segment and a full-size pickup, the average prices of those nowadays are easily between $75,000 and $90,000. If you were to take out a 60-month loan with current interest rates, you're easily looking at a monthly payment anywhere between $1,600 and $2,000 per month. Absolutely insane. Unfortunately, the interest rates have not let up throughout the last year and a half. The national average right now for a new vehicle purchase is 7%. 7% APR. For a used vehicle purchase, 11%. So I'll wrap up the video there, guys. Let me know what your honest thoughts are. I do personally believe that we are witnessing the perfect storm. You know, between banks and lending institutions really clamping down and not pumping out these loans like they're candy anymore, handing them out like they're candy. And when you combine that with the fact that inventory levels are through the roof and dealers are really trying to hold firm on their inventory, well, something's got to give, and something's got to give soon. So let me know what your thoughts are. As always, I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to tune in these videos. If you find any value in it whatsoever, I do respectfully request that you please consider liking and subscribing. Your support means a lot, and it certainly doesn't go unnoticed. Until next time.